So the Fender Champion 20 amplifier has some effects built into it. But what does VIB mean? I mean, what does it stand for? I was wondering what it was, so I looked it up and did a little bit more research, and it stands for something really cool and has a long history behind it. The VIB stands for the Fender Vibratone. The Vibratone speaker was a unique and versatile speaker cabinet that was used by many famous guitarists over the years. It was introduced in the 1960s, and basically it was a rotating speaker cabinet designed to emulate the sound of a Leslie speaker from an organ. The speaker itself was about 10 inches in diameter, and there was a styrofoam or polystyrene cover over it attached to a motor, and on the side of this looking like a bowl is an opening, and it begins to spin. It rotates at a certain speed, probably clockwise. I'm sure you could probably reverse it and make it go the opposite direction, but there was two phases on it, a low and a high phase. And as this motor begins to spin and this cone that sits on top of the speaker begins to rotate, it creates this Doppler effect. It sounds something very similar to this. We'll turn up the effect on the Fender all the way up, and then you'll hear this kind of like shimmering kind of effect. Well, the speaker itself sounds incredible when it's standing right next to you. This little amplifier is trying to create that sound, but that sound is basically using this principle called the Doppler effect. The best example I can think of for the Doppler effect is you're standing on the street and there's an emergency vehicle driving down the street, and you hear the siren at a higher pitch, and as it passes by you, the pitch begins to lower. Well, the same thing is very similar to the way that the speaker would actually function. So this Fender Champion 20, this mighty little 8-inch speaker, is actually trying to emulate that sound. And countless others, they would actually try to figure out how to use this speaker that was actually designed for a Fender Rhodes piano. And during that time, they would try to get as creative as possible, trying to create as many textures as they could. So the VIB on this FX Select is actually the Vibratone. Now, the Vibratone is a way that we can actually emulate this shimmering effect, but it's a time-based effect. So you'll see that on this amplifier, there's this LED light that's blinking, this red light. And we can actually slow that down using this tap tempo effect, this tap tempo effect. So we'll turn down the effects level, and we'll go back to the way that kind of sounds out of the amp. And then we'll increase the effects level. Then you can really hear this pulsating sound that it creates. Now, based upon time, we'll increase the tempo and back off the effect select. Something that Stevie Ray Vaughan would do with Cold Shot. Something like that. That was really bad. But you get the idea. If you listen to Cold Shot, that's the effect that he's using. So this Vibratone effect is really cool. Now you can obviously go and get yourself a Vibratone Fender speaker and play to your heart's content and get that real authentic, lush, warm sound that just fills the room. Or you can go and get a pedal. Now there's some pedal simulators that are out there, but what this little amp is trying to do, when you buy this Affinity kind of Squire bundle, it brings this Champion 20 into your life, and it creates some really cool some tones. So you have this effects level, you have the tap tempo, And that's what VIB means, the Fender Vibratone. Thanks for joining, and thanks for watching. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll have some more videos for you so you can learn all about guitar, gear, and to be inspired as a musician.